Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Teach with Kay. Today I would like to just share how I am doing in my classroom, how everything is going, what grade level I have, what am I teaching, what am I doing, where I'm going next, like what's happening. So stay tuned if you want to hear more. So as of right now, I'm still working at the same school that I worked at previously last year, and I'm working with kinder and first graders now. And I'm really okay. So let me start off in the beginning. So at first, I was kind of nervous. I was really like, I don't know how to work with. I never worked with kindergarten and first grade as like my own classroom in a sense. Nervous, but then again, I wasn't nervous. So I was excited for one. I was excited to meet the kids. I was excited to get to know them. I was excited to be able to meet them and really see their personality, see how they acted, see how they responded towards me to build those different relationships with them. As of right now, I just finished my third week of school. We started school on August 25th. So it's already been 3 weeks, and it's been going really well. I was I was supposed to have second graders, but then I ended up having kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. I had like all K through 1, and I only had like two second graders. And the first day of school came, and I was like, "This is awesome. This is cool." They were still, still trying to get to know me, get warmed up to me, and the kids were very. I could tell that the second graders weren't really feeling having to work with kindergarten and first graders because there were only two of them, so I can definitely understand. So I was just like, you know what? I'll just take first kindergarten and first grade. Their coworker could have second and third. So I don't have any of the students that I had last year, but I'm supposed to be getting first and second grade again. So I'm supposed to have first and second grade coming in the next few weeks since now that we have another program leader. So yeah, so that's pretty much what um, what grade level I'm teaching. So the first week of school, we really focus on creating community agreements. And if you don't know what community agreements are, I think those are like highly important to implement in your classroom, whatever grade you teach. It's really just kind of like a agreement that you and your students make with one another. So you may have, you can have your rules and procedures and all like that, but classroom agreements are things that you and your class sit down and talk about and really share and really like, hey, how would you like our class to look? What do you expect from me? What do you expect from each other? What would make our classroom environment safe for you? What would make this classroom yours? What would make this classroom safe for you? And what you do is you just have them, you sit down and you guys sit down in a circle, and you like, pick on a few people. You'd be like, okay, so now we're going to create group agreements, and I want you to think about what would make this space safe for you. What would make it safe for you, not only yourself, but also for your peers, for your classmates, for the people, for your sisters, for whoever is in that space with you. So we sat down and we created group agreements, and then we also did a lot of BIC activities. And if you don't know what BIC activities are building intentional community activities, and these activities are geared towards letting your students get to know each other. So really I know one of my favorite BIC activities, I Love My Sister Who. And how this game works is that you're sitting in a circle, is standing in a circle, and one person is in the middle of the circle. And the person that's in the middle of the circle says, I love my sister who likes popcorn. And if everybody likes popcorn, then they would move from one side of the circle to the other side of the circle as fast as they can. Whoever's the last person in the middle is going to be the person who's to start it again and say, I love my sister who likes whatever they like. And this really helps kids understand maybe differences within the classroom, but also similarities. And being able to understand that Yeah, we may sometimes, we may not like the same things, but there's also people who like the same things that I like. So that's really cool to get to see like their interests and what they like and what their hobbies are, which is really cool. So that way you get to build that community, because it's good. In order to have community, you have to know each other. And so that's definitely one of the activities that I love doing within the first week of school. So yes, we did group agreements, we did BIC activities. We also did a lot of expectations and procedures as far as line order goes, how I expect them to come into the classroom, how I expect them to sit down at their tables, the use of materials, water and bathroom breaks. I also taught them how to come to the carpet and transitions, and these things are you're gonna continue to do these throughout the school year, throughout the first few weeks of the school, maybe even the first half of the school year, maybe even for the whole school year, maybe even for a few months. It depends on how your class is adapting towards it. And the one thing that I really wanted to challenge myself in, and what I really wanted to bring myself to start doing a little bit more, is to be consistent. Being, as far as, not saying that I'm not consistent in doing, having procedures and expectations, but having being consistent in doing one specific that it's not working, then I'll definitely change it to the benefit of my students. Because I know one thing that I did a lot last year was I would do a bunch of research, and I would find a lot of different things that I wanted to try out in my classroom, but I was trying to implement it so fast that the kids wouldn't really get it. They were like, but I don't want to do that because I'm starting to get used to this one thing that you told us to do. So really trying to be consistent and really for a longer period of time, instead of just trying something new, it didn't work, and then doing something different, but continuously, okay, it didn't work this time. How could I change it? Oh, I could change it by doing this, but still doing that same thing, but maybe modifying it. Those are the things that I did the first week of school. Second week of school was a lot more of, going over pretty much the same things: group agreements, BIC activities, doing, going over expectations and procedures. What does it look like when we dismiss from the classroom? What is it like when we come to the classroom? Different things like that. I also got the second week of school. We did jobs, and we also did a lot of. I did my first read aloud. We read The Day the Crayons Quit. They really liked that one. They love the pink one. So I was like, when I was reading it, I had them like guess, oh, what do you think is coming next? And they would say, oh, I think orange is coming next. Oh, I think this is coming next. And then we would flip it, and then if they got it right, they'd be like, yay, yay. So yeah, so it was really cool. About the line order, I change line leaders every week. But then I change jobs every 2 weeks. So that way each kid is able to do their job for a long period of time. Instead, I used to change jobs every week, but they wouldn't be able to fully understand how their job worked. This week, we did a lot of, again, just a lot of like progress and reintroducing certain things. So today was like Labor Day. With kindergarten and first graders, they lose memory like that. Like, it's so quickly that they lose things that they constantly have been learning. And next week we're going to get into our read alouds and centers. I tried centers this week, and let's just say it didn't go as I planned, which I was expecting to, because one, I didn't have a lot of time because we had a meeting that day, and then I was trying to implement centers. It just wasn't, it didn't, the kids, they like to stay at their stations because they thought they had to finish the activities before moving on to the next station, but they didn't have to. So I had to like tell them, like how centers were going to work. We came up with different words for like transition, when it's time to clean up, when it's time to rotate between stations, and really implementing giving minutes for how more time they have in order to do a certain activity. So yeah, so we did that. That was kind of like really hard, but I think it's gonna go better as the time goes on. How would I describe my kids? They are they love hugs. They love hugs. They love giving hugs, and they love holding my hand and walking with me when we're walking in line. They are, oh my gosh, they're so smart. They're like so smart. They are very helpful. They're helpful. They want to be my like teacher's assistant. They want to do things to help me. And but then they're also aware of when everybody needs to like quiet down and really get in, into what we were doing. That's kind of as far as just listening, because kindergarten and first graders, they're very they get distracted really easily. So really just getting them, trying to find activities where I can get them attached, or not attached, but like get them intrigued and kind of keeping it on a consistent basis, like having one activity from to another activity to another activity. They really need that structured, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't really like BIT activities, because it's not really structured in there. But I feel like once we start getting into read alouds, and once we start getting into the different incentives, it'll be more structured. So I think it'll help a lot more, a lot better. So yeah, it's kind of how my few weeks have been. That's how my start to the school year is going. I'm going to probably most likely be changing grades, and hopefully I'll keep this year. At the beginning of the year, I have 20 kids, so that was kind of like a challenge for me, because I didn't have that. I've never had that large of a group before. So really trying to get, making sure that I'm walking on the side of them, not in front of them, not behind them, but making sure that I'm walking along the lines. And when I'm giving instructions, really just walking back and forth between the lines, instead of just being sitting there in the middle. I'll walk. So I'll be like, okay, girls, we're gonna go to when we get inside. I want you to walk. I want you to put your backpacks on the hooks, and I want you to go sit down and wait for your journals to get passed out. And as I'm saying this, sometimes I'll stop, but I'm mainly moving around. So I'm mainly going from the beginning of the line towards the end of the line. Really making sure that each kid is hearing what I'm saying, because my kids get distracted. Since my kids get distracted, I need to make sure that I'm looking at them, and then I'm walking around, making sure that everybody's listening. And then I'll do checks. I'll be like, okay, so what's the first thing that we're going to do? Oh, we're going to do this. And then what's the second thing we're going to do? Oh, and then we're going to do that. Is to make sure that I'm only giving at least two specific instructions that I want them to do before, because how I really kind of give instructions, I tend to tell them more. So I'll do like the first two, then I'll do the next two, and I'll be like, everybody got it? And they'll be like, wait, no, I don't get that, because I don't know the first thing I'm gonna do, because you gave me too many instructions at one time. So really just making sure that I'm doing two instructions. So if we're going to the classroom, I'll be, okay, put your backpacks. So the first thing you're going to do is put your backpacks on the hooks. And the second thing you're going to do is come to your seat, or come to the carpet, whatever it is that I have them to go. And so the first two instructions that I do. So once they're doing that, I'll be, okay, now what I want you to do, while this person, once you have your journals, you're going to pick up your pencil, draw a picture of what you want to be when you get older. That's kind of like the do now that I had them do today, was draw a picture of what you want to be when you get older. And what I do for do nows is that I make it about 6 to 10 minutes for do nows of journal writing. I might lower it a little bit, so that way we can do our opening circle and we can get into our activities, because we tend to go over a lot, and we need some structures as far as like time management goes. So that's it. That's just a really quick video. I didn't want it to be too long. I know I didn't go into detail. I know I didn't go into a lot of detail. But if you have any questions, if you want to know like more of my procedures, more of how I do my classroom management, how I use my clip chart system, how I do anything, any questions that you have, comment down below, and I will be sure to answer your questions as best as I can. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video because I know it'll help somebody else. Remember, God loves you and God is for you. And through Him, all things are possible. And talk to y'all soon. Bye.